Oh boy, here we go.
Here at the southern edge of Alaska lies a passage, a gateway to the wild. Ketchikan, a place where mountains fall into the sea, where the tides rewrite the shores each day. Rain drifts through spruce and cedar, the hum of the harbor carries across the water. Totems rise like memory, standing watch over this meeting of land and sea. For generations, people have come here, drawn north by something they couldn't quite name. That pull of the unknown. It still lingers, quiet as the fog that sounds on the water. Ketchikan isn't just a stop along the way. It is the end of a world vast and untamed. Beyond these docks, this world stretches wild and unbroken. From the wind curling over Denali's frozen peak to the breath of the winds in the southeast. This land reveals its heart in motion. Stone against sky, ice against sea, light against the element. What you see now is only the beginning. Because Alaska doesn't ask to be known. It demands to be felt. North of the rainforests and tides, the continent lifts towards the clouds. Denali, the Great One, at more than 20,000 feet, it seems to hold the sky in its hands. For centuries, the Alaskan people have looked to this summit and seen not just a mountain, but a spirit. A guardian of balance between people and nature, power and peace. Its slopes give way to endless ice. Even here, where the world seems still, you can feel the heartbeat of the wild.
Oh, whoa. Got my foot pedal.
drop into the depth, each one a question cast into the unknown. Then, the hit. A surge from the deep, the sudden pull of something resisting its way upward. Howling, fighting to rise towards the surface. Lifted aboard and measured. Before the moment settles, another line pulls tight. Dark sheets rising through the moving water. Rockfish emerge from the deep. Each catch is a hard-won moment, earned from the restless sea. Softens into cloud and cold, giving way to still water and rising ice. Here, silence becomes a presence. In the glacier lagoons, the air hangs heavy with mist, and the ice itself seems to breathe. Every movement echoes, the push of the paddle, the drip of melting ice, the low groan of a shifting bird. This is Alaska at its quietest. Even in stillness, the land moves, shaping, cracking, whispering its story into the wind. But even Alaska's quiet never lasts long. The calm turns restless, and the stillness breaks into motion. Engines roar across the glacier water. Between the walls of the ice-carved cliffs, sound ricochets. falls layer upon layer, building the ice that shapes the land below. In these frozen hills, the world stands firm. Cold, unyielding, alive in its stillness. Across the frozen hills, machines cut their path through deep snow and rising frost. Each turn presses forward through pull and resistance, tracing other paths over a landscape defined by endurance. In the depths of river, motion endures. The mountains remain steadfast against the harshest climate. Peaks stretch for miles, sharp, endless, unrelenting. Ridges rise like waves of stone, shaping valleys few have ever crossed. The sky becomes the true passage, the highway of the north. Flight, the only way to grasp its scale. Up here, you see how vast Alaska truly is. From the sky, Alaska stretches beyond measure. But look closer, even here, in all this vastness, life moves, steady and deliberate. A bear, alone against the tide, hunting for clams in the shallows. Patient as the sea itself. Each tide feeding the next. When the salmon return, the bears follow. Trading salt water for the cool rush of rivers. The wild gathers at the water's edge, drawn by the river's promise. The salmon follow an ancient rhythm, turning to the waters where life began to give life again. Along the bank, the bears wait, power meeting persistence, hunger meeting life's return. The same current that shapes the land now continues. Where the journey meets the tide once more. Back where it all began. Ketchikan. The edge of the wild. What once felt like the end of the map now feels like the beginning of everything. Because beyond every horizon, Alaska has a way of showing you more. More beauty, more power, more life than words can hold. Here, standing at the edge, we understand Alaska doesn't just exist beyond these docks. It lives within those who journey into the wild.
Good.
Enjoyed the show, and the spray wasn't too shocking.
The snow was really neat, though.
Yeah, that's fun. I always worry about that suddenly not coming on because it's a mixture we have way back there.
Oh, really? Oh,
So I
okay.
keep an eye on it. What's that?
It shoots it out from back there.
No, that's where the mixture is stored in the projection room, and then it's sort of tubed into. I think it comes out there and one over there too.
So it's not asbestos, is it?
No,
That's Wizard of Oz. It actually was asbestos that they were.
is that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah.
Making
Yeah,
of
so
it.
if you guys want to exit out this way, I think there's some folks in there waiting. But no, they actually had to, they couldn't get into this building till about, I think, October or early November because they had a big asbestos abatement that they had
Oh,
to
really?
pay for,
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
originally like a 100-year-old building.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yes,
Oh,
thank
good.
you.
I'm glad it was something new.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry. Go back. We can go out this way, but the street kind of just looks like a valley.